Hi, you're listening to This Is Not Your Practice Life. I'm your host, Macy Renee, and we are going on a journey together, my friends. I'm a certified life and emotional intelligence coach. And if you really want to step into your highest self, there are a few non-negotiables you're going to have to learn, and I am just the person to help you do it. No matter your past, I'm here to help you create a more fulfilling future. So stick around with me. Not only will I teach you how to navigate your brain's daily mind drama, but I'll help you actually understand your mind, your emotions, why you do the things you do, and why others do the things they do. Most importantly, I'll help you build the self-awareness skills to create whatever results you want. It's never too late to change the trajectory of your life. After all, this is not your practice life. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of This Is Not Your Practice Life podcast. I'm Macy, so excited to have you here. If you are a brand new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back. Today, we're getting into, I think, an episode that's going to serve a lot of people because we're going to be talking about confidence. Real confidence feels like loss first. That is the title of today's episode, so I hope you enjoy it. And I think that a lot of people struggle with their confidence. If you are a client of mine or you've ever taken an EQ assessment that I offer, sometimes I have specials where you can take that. So if you've ever taken it, look at your score in self-regard. If you have a score over 100, you're doing pretty good here, especially if it's in balance with your other scores and a lot of the numbers are really close together. If this is under 100 for you, then it just shows where you have some work to do. And actually raising your overall emotional intelligence score specifically is based on how confident you feel in yourself. So it's some of the most important work you will ever do. And that is why I wanted to record this episode for you. So here is something that may feel kind of like a truth bomb or maybe even a hard truth, but if building real confidence feels painful for you, especially at first, congrats. That means you're doing it right. Oftentimes, confidence doesn't feel smooth. It's very much something that feels very shaky and kind of rocks your world. It's something that is built in the act of doing hard things that you don't always want to do. And I think that that's maybe why some people struggle so much with confidence. It's easier to intellectualize or have this false mindset that you have to wait until you feel confident to do something, when really you kind of have to jump into the very thing you're so afraid of to build the confidence that you can do it, you will do it, and you did do it. Okay, so that's a hard truth, but it is such a big one. So we're going to dive even deeper today into, why the beginning of confidence building feels more like a death than rebirth. If you've been there, you know, and I think confidence can come from a multitude of experiences and factors. And anytime you're building your confidence, it really does feel, I think, like a death, because you're leaving behind this version of you that was scared or timid or unsure, and you're taking this leap of faith that in the moment sometimes feels like it makes no sense or scares you to death. But once you survive it, on the other side, it's, that's where the rebirth happens. So we all want this rebirth, but we forget that in order to have that kind of rebirth experience or that wonderful feeling of like, wow, I really trust myself, first we have to experience the death of our old timid self, scared self, the version of us that still needed the invitation and ability to grow. So the first thing that we're going to start with is, and I get the giggles because I just think like everybody wants confidence, but a lot of people fear stepping up to the plate and doing the things it actually takes to build it. But if you will, let me just tell you on the other side of it, and I still say this to myself all the time, you're going to be so proud of yourself for doing it, because there are truly amazing things on the other side of being more confident, feeling more confident, embodying that confidence. So here is a myth, I think, around instant, quote unquote, confidence. It's that real confidence, it doesn't arrive fully formed. It truly is created or forged through walking into spaces where you feel very shaky and uncertain. Okay. Again, people think that they have to wait in order to feel confident. I need to wait until I feel like this, and then I'll be confident enough to do this. And the truth of the matter is, confidence is not what you need first. You actually need courage first. Courage is what is required for someone to gain confidence. It's not the other way around. So, it's not something that it's not something that you summon before you actually leap. It's something that comes mid-air, mid-jump, in the process of doing all the scary things. And I think something else that people don't talk about is that you do lose something oftentimes to gain confidence. And what I mean by that is you have to lose things like needing validation. You have to lose things like certainty, okay? You have to lose things like perfect outcomes. That's a lot of times what holds people up in actually gaining confidence, is that they seek that validation or want that validation from an outside source. They want certainty before they actually try or, go for the goal. They want the perfect outcome. They want to know that all the work that they're going to do is going to lead to the perfect thing that they want. And they will sabotage and wait in hopes that all of those things will come before they do the scary thing. And the thing about it is you have to lose the fact that you need someone's validation, or that you need certainty of if it's going to work or not work, or that you need a perfect condition or outcome. You have to lose all of that. And that is what's actually going to build your confidence, because in that process, when you are in the process of not needing those things, guess what you're doing? You're figuring it out. When you're committed to the end goal, even if the end goal is confidence, you will figure it out, okay? Confidence demands that you trade comfort for self-trust. That's ultimately what confidence is. It's a lot of self-trust. I can trust myself. I can do this. I can make it, okay? So you have to really lean into that, okay? It's hard, but it is so worthwhile. And when I was talking about, confidence kind of feels like it's a death before it's a rebirth, that is something that I want to kind of riff on a little bit more. But before you become the next version of yourself, or the version that you really desire to be, your old self in some sense or another kind of has to die. So that means like your old ways of coping may have to die. Your old ways of being an approval seeker may have to die. Your old ways of wanting, to be certain all the time has to go. And that is a death of self, because maybe you've had those patterns your entire life. If you are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, you've likely had those patterns so ingrained in you. So to let them go will truly feel like a death of self. But think of who is on the other side of not needing that anymore, of not needing someone's approval, of not coping the way that maybe you've coped the last decade or two, of not needing certainty, but trusting yourself enough to know you are a problem solver and you will figure it out. Think about that. Every time you feel like you're free falling into the unknown, you are truly closer to confidence. You were so much closer doing that than maybe you've ever been. Just free falling. It feels so scary not knowing if your parachute is going to open or if it's even functioning, but you figure things out as you fall. It's truly a trust fall as you're building confidence, truly an embodiment of the work, the very work that feels scary to do. Okay. So confidence, is more of a self-trust thing, not an outcome guarantee. I'm going to repeat that. Confidence is more about self-trust. So your trusting relationship with yourself and your ability to be a figure it out person, a problem-solving person. Okay. It's about self-trust, not an outcome guarantee. Okay. Real confidence is truly the mindset of, even if it all goes wrong, I trust me. This is where emotional intelligence comes in so deeply. It's so vital in so many aspects of your life. It's when you're falling in love and you're dating and you don't know if it's going to work out, but you don't want to have one foot out the door, and like, in order for the relationship to be the greatest thing, you have to be all in. But what it also means is, if you're all in, that means your heart is on the line. You may be absolutely heartbroken if it goes the wrong way. And still, what confidence is even if it does, even if it all falls apart, even if my heart gets broken, even if this doesn't work out, even if they're not the person I marry, even if it just absolutely shatters me to my core, I trust me. I trust me. So I'm going to lean in all the way. It's the same thing in business. If you're an entrepreneur, you know this. This is our MO, right? It's launching something and not knowing if it's going to work. It's creating a freebie and not knowing if anybody's going to sign up. It's doing a podcast episode and not knowing if anybody's going to listen. And it's, even if it doesn't work, even if nobody comes, even if I make $0, even if I have to eat ramen noodles, I trust me. I trust me. I'm going to be okay. Right? That's how confidence is built, even in entrepreneurship. It's doing the thing. It's not being like, well, I'll wait until, 100 people join my email list, and then I'll create a program. And that's how a lot of people's brain works. It's like, I want to see something to prove it's going to be okay. And that's why I say confidence as self-trust, is self-trust. It's not an outcome guarantee. Okay. That is truly something that you have to instill in your brain. It's more so of, I'm going to build, let's say, the program, and I'm going to put my email out there. And even if 5 people sign up, like, I know I can trust me. Even if 0 people sign up and it's not the outcome I wanted, I can trust me to know what I need to do next. And then you are a problem solver in the process. Okay. This works so many different ways. Same thing with when you decide to become a parent. Right? You don't know, like, if you're not around kids, especially, and you are someone that this is your first time ever really taking care of a newborn, a baby, a child, like, you don't really know what to do. So the confidence comes in doing it. Maybe beforehand you're terrified of giving birth, or you are terrified of changing diapers. You've never done it before. How do you become confident at it? How do you become an expert? You do it, right? I mean, a lot of women end up having more than one child. They're like, oh, I've got this. I didn't die. It was fine. Like, I feel confident enough to be able to handle this again. It was really scary the first time. I can handle it. When you are not maybe great at putting on baby clothes or changing their diapers, right? It's something that you get better at. You feel confident the more times you do it. And so that is the same. Apply that in any area of your life. Any area, it works. You're going to feel more confident when you just embody the courageousness it takes to build that confidence. So the last thing that I would say and want to ask for you to reflect on is, where are you still asking for the proof before trusting yourself? Where are you seeking the outside validation before just going for it? Where are you wanting to make sure the result's a guarantee before you take action? Because that is the opposite of doing what it takes to actually build confidence. Okay? So just something to think on, something to ponder on. And if you need help with any of this work, you know where to find me. Go to MacyRenee.com. Schedule a 60-minute consult. We will talk all things your life. I have a little process I take all of my consults through. We will see kind of where you stand at the end of it. And if coaching feels like a good fit, we will figure out what is going to be the best space and place for you to get everything that you are seeking out of your growth experience. So MacyRenee.com, 60-minute consult. Sign up for that. If you are not already on my email list, make sure you join that. And if you could please go leave a review, whether you're a client or a podcast listener, it truly helps the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. So please go do that. And I will see you again next week. Hey there. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of This Is Not Your Practice Life podcast. If you'd like to connect on social media, you can find me on both Instagram and Facebook at Macy Renee Coaching. And if you want to stay up to date on all of my offers, announcements, and inspirational emails, you can join my email list at macyrene.com. In addition, if there's a way that I can further support you in your coaching journey, you can schedule a free 60-minute consult at macyrene.com anytime you want so we can discuss the best options for you. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.